Hey guys, and welcome to another episode of Item of the Day. This is episode 29, and today we're going to be doing some stuff with red power. Now, as you can see, our numbers are going to be 27, 9, and 2, but also we're going to do 3, because they're kind of similar, but I'll show you guys them both. So, yeah, I'm just going to basically just be starting from nothing and showing you guys how to make the whole thing, and we can actually just get this redstone out here. I had that for my setup. And the first thing we're going to need is, we're actually going to need to put some stone in a furnace. And of course that makes stone wafers. I'm just using the red matter furnace because it's the fastest. And I already went over this furnace in the second episode, I believe. So anyway, that's definitely plenty of stone wafers, as you can see. See, they don't have an EMC, so you do have to smelt or cook some stone to get each one. So what you need to do is, first of all, use 6 sticks to make 6 redstone torches. Now this is to make these both, keep in mind. So the first thing we're going to need is, we'll put 1 redstone torch there and 1 stone wafer under it. That gets you a stone cathode. As you can see, you need 1 of those for this one, and you're going to need 4 of these for this one. So I'm just going to make 4 more. And we're actually just going to need 1. Actually, I didn't put enough wafers there. And we're actually going to need 1 more stick. So let me just get a redstone torch really quick. I'm just going to throw it on the ground. And I'm not in green mid 1. That would be useful. There we go. Alright. So we're just going to make... Next thing we're going to do is basically it's the same configuration as the stone cathode, except I actually forgot to grab these, except you put 1 piece of stone on top of it. Of course I'm putting 2 there because of course I'm making 2 stone pointers. As you can see, you need 1 for the timer and 1 for the sequencer. So the next thing we're going to need is some stone wires. So we're just going to put 3 down. As you can see, there's 3 wires and 3 wafers. And just get wires right there. We have 3 wires now. That's all we need. And then the redstone, just put it like this, and then put 3 wafers across the bottom, and that gives you a stone anode. It makes 3 of them per configuration. So we can actually just toss this 1 more redstone because I just didn't have another stick that I meant to grab. Anyway, as you can see, we have enough stuff for the timer and the sequencer. The timer, of course, it's going to have 3 stone wires, a stone pointer, a stone cathode, 2 stone anodes, and 2 stone wafers. So the first thing we're going to do is put the stone wafers in the top left and top right, stone anodes on bottom left and bottom right, and of course, as you can see, we have 1 left over that we're not going to be using, and the stone wires in just a triangle kind of shape between the stone anodes and the stone wafers. And then what we're going to do is put the stone cathode in the bottom middle and put 1 pointer. And that gets you a timer. Now this is a very nice item. I really like it. As you can see, if you put it down once every 2 seconds, as you can see, if you right click it, it will say time interval 2 seconds. As you can see, it'll light up every 2 seconds whenever that pointer gets right over the redstone torch. And that is when it's sending out a signal. So for example, if I put a lamp down, I'm just going to grab some redstone lamps. And if I put it right there, every 2 seconds it'll turn on very shortly. So if I put something there, and then for example if I got some redstone and then just put it down, as you can see it works the same way, and it will turn on every 2 seconds. Now I can turn this down by 50 milliseconds, add more 50 milliseconds per time I click, or you can go by 1 second or 10 seconds. So basically you can just make this take really long. For example, now it's going to take 60 seconds. Once every 60 seconds this would flash. And of course we can make it really short to 0.2 seconds. And as you can see, it's going so fast that this redstone lamp is just staying on. So if I just amp it up a little bit to about, I'm just going to take it to about 0.8. As you can see, it's definitely, it's turning off and back on. If I turn it down to 0.5, of course it's flashing even faster. And of course, if we take the redstone out, it will stop. Now, another thing that you can do with this is, for example, if we get a lever and put it on the back. As you can see, there's a little line on the back. If you hit it, if you turn the switch on, it will activate the redstone circuit going into the redstone torch, and it will basically shut it off. And you can, of course, turn the... So this thing is basically just like an off switch. If you turn the off switch on, it will stop it. If you turn the off switch off, it will continue to go. So that's pretty nice. And then, of course, you can also use that for different things, like activating just different types of items on a timed kind of method. For example, if you needed a redstone something to go every, like if you just needed a redstone circuit to fire every minute, that's easily done. Of course, you just get it to a minute and then add 10 seconds until it's 60 seconds. And of course, this will fire every 60 seconds. So of course, we can just take it down to 10. I'll just take it down to 10 because then it won't take so long. And as you can see, it's going around pretty slowly. And of course, it will get there eventually, but it would just be much slower. And as you can see, once it hits that, it activates it really quick. Now, moving on to the next item, we need the stone wafers in all four corners. And then we need stone cathodes in the areas between them, and a stone pointer in the middle. That makes a sequencer. Now, this is also another very nice item that I really love. Of course, if you put it down, you can see that it'll just keep changing. So, for example, if we put a redstone lamp here, this one's actually already activated, and there we go. If we just put redstone lamps like that, it will just change every second, or every however long it takes to get to the next one. See, it's on 2 seconds right now. So 1, 2, and then of course it goes to the next one. So every 2 seconds it will fire the next redstone thing. And this is very good with large redstone mechanisms, because, for example, if you need something methodically firing, like for example, if I got a deployer, actually I don't even need it. Yeah, I do need a deployer. So if we got a deployer, and if we got, let me just grab some dirt, and I will just go into creative mode really quick. And of course, if I just go like this, because I don't want anything to escape, I'm just going to get some water, a water bucket, fill it in, and I need a hoe, of course. So I'm just going to get a hoe. That is not a hoe. I put an H instead, or a W instead of an E. There we go. And then we can get what's called the crops. And what that does is basically, whenever your item is, like whenever you harvest an item, it will not break the item, it will only break the, I was in game mode 1, so that completely screwed it up. Whenever you harvest an item, it will not break the seeds, it will keep the seeds there, and you will basically just get whatever's off of it. So for example, if we put that there, as you can see, we didn't get anything off of it because the seeds weren't fully grown. But if I get more seeds, and get some bone meal, for example, once I get that, that was just complete fail. I didn't have any seeds there, so we're just gonna get some more bone meal. And as you can see, actually it's not quite working with that, but that's alright. As you can see, it's still kind of growing, but once it's fully grown, we can just hit it and it will break, and you'll get this stuff back. And actually, if this doesn't work with bone meal, then it probably won't work with the crops. So let me just get some seeds again, and try this again. So it doesn't look like it's working, but that's alright, because there is more stuff than this that we can use. We shall get some, actually, we're just going to, yeah, let's get some pumpkin seeds, because that should work. I don't see why it wouldn't, but of course it may not. So, as you can see, we got some pumpkin seeds here. And actually, no, that won't work because we still can't bone meal the items. So, right. Alright, well, let's just get some regular seeds then. Trial and error, of course. As you can see, once we get we can get another deployer, which we are actually going to need. And once we get that, we will of course have the one deployer for each task. So for example, this deployer and this deployer. There we go. And why is that deployer there? I have no clue. But that's alright, because we can just leave it there, because instead, right here, we can put a block breaker. And of course, we're gonna have to start typing in block, and we did not get that. So there we go. As you can see, we got a block breaker there now. And what we want to do is put some seeds in one deployer. So let me just grab some seeds really quick, and let me get some bone meal and get that. There we go. Bone meal, seeds, and then block breaker. Of course, we don't need to mess with that in any way, but we are going to need some wires. So let me just get some wires, and of course we're going to need some of each color, because everything has a different color. So what we're basically just going to do is everything needs a different color so that it won't mix, I should say. We're just going to do that really quick, and there we go. So basically we shall put the sequencer down, and as you can see, it'll basically just do its job. What we're going to do is put some wires, just going to use some white wires, and just wire it up to up there, and that's good. That'll fire. It'll basically make the deployer fire, and actually we're going to break these seeds because we have a stack in there. So basically it'll make this fire, and then first, and then of course this comes second. So we're going to need this to it's going, of course, as you can see, whenever I put it down, it is rotating clockwise. So we are going to have to put this right here and kind of snake it around everything. And there we are. Once we get this up there, nope, that won't work. We should actually break that, because that won't work either, because we don't want that interfering. And as you can see, we're just gonna wire it up onto there. And then for the last one, we just want to just wire it straight directly to that. Now, once I throw this down, of course, it'll spin clockwise. It'll activate this first, deploy the seeds, spin more, activate this blue wire, deploy the bone meal, and turn and hit the one that's activating the block breaker, and we'll make the block breaker fire. So as you'll be able to see, actually that did not at all deploy seeds like it was supposed to, but I think that's because how it started, and it did not do it again. Anyway, I'm not exactly sure. It might have to be the other way around. Let me just switch these really quick, and I will be right back. So guys, as you can see, I kind of fixed this. I mean, it's like the same setup, but it is actually fixed. So of course, as you can see, it's the same thing: seeds, bone meal, block breaker, and of course nothing's changed behind it, just the block to raise it up and cover the water. And of course, if we put this down, it'll go clockwise, so seeds, and then blue bone meal, and then orange block breaker. So as you can see, seeds, and now bone meal, and now block breaker. As you can tell, that's going kind of slow. We can easily fix that, and it's throwing stuff all over the place. You can easily fix the issue of it throwing stuff everywhere by using a chest. Just put a chest there, and of course it will deploy it right into the chest, or it'll block break it right into the chest. It'll put it right there, like instantly. Or you can of course use wires to do that, and of course to make it go faster, if you would like to, all you got to do is right click the sequencer itself and turn the time interval down. For example, if we did 2.2 seconds, it would be fairly fast. I'm just going to break this chest so you guys can see exactly how fast. And as you can see, it's just shooting out wheat and seeds all over the place, just straight to here. It's just firing them out of the block breaker. And I think that is awesome. I think this is a really nice explanation, or kind of showing you guys how to basically use the sequencer And I mean, this is a very nice machine type thing to show you guys some of the applications that it could be used for. Now, basically with these items, of course, like all the other items in here, the limits to what these items can do is basically the limit to your guys' imagination. I mean, if you could imagine something that would work with it, of course it's not going to do something that it wouldn't ever be meant to do. For example, you can't just like set it down and imagine it killing mobs and it'll do that. That won't happen. Obviously not, it wouldn't happen. But just anything that you can imagine that would work with this, you can basically do it if you figure out how to do it right. So I mean, this can just be used to fire anything. I mean, you could use this to make like that thing that I showed you guys whenever I did the lamps episode, where I just basically had each row. I had 4 rows set up over here, or somewhere around here, and had it basically firing off one line each time, and basically just making, just putting lights down and just basically making them go systematically to where they were basically just like going one row at a time, just firing off one row at a time, just however you wanted it. I mean, you could do that. You could even just mismatch them if you wanted. Like, you could change the wires. Like, you could put this wire and just wire it through one side or in the middle, and just like mix up everything for those lamps. For example, you could have the first row go off first, and then the third, and then the second and fourth, or whatever you want. I mean, you could do anything with it, really. And of course, another thing that you could do is for like those signs that move, like the neon moving signs, what you could do is, if you make a sign out of lamps, and you of course make another part that is supposed to be the moving one, of course what you can do is, if I go to game mode 1 really quick, let me just grab a sequencer, and that's not a sequencer, that's a timer, because of course it didn't select the right item. So let me just get a sequencer really quick, and let me get 2 different colored wires. I'm just gonna get a yellow or an orange and white, and then let me just get some lamps, and then we're just gonna get some white lamps. And as you can see, we can put this down, and then this, and then this, put one there and one there. Actually, this probably wasn't the best place to do that, so let me just move it over one so that we can wire stuff to the side. And actually, I'm just going to move it over one more because I don't want that torch interfering with it. Of course, I can just break it, but it doesn't really matter. And of course, as you can see, you can put the you can put it like this, and you can put this other side like this. And then what you can do is go like that, and then go like that. And once you do this, for example, if you put one on each side, of course, once you set this down, it will activate one for 2 turns, and then it will activate the other one for 2 turns. So basically, you could turn it down to 2, and then, of course, we might need to turn it up a little bit more than that. So we just turn it to 0.75. That should be good. As you can see, it's alternating, but these ones are staying lit. Now, I mean, you could do something like that. Basically, just your imagination. Just anything you can imagine, you can do it. Like I said, as long as it's within reason, because it will not do something that it has no functionality for. So anyway, that was the some of the timers and redstone components, like the timer and the sequencer, which I really like to use. I do use them a lot, actually, especially for cobblestone generators. They're good for that. Anytime you actually need a cobblestone generator for any reason, timers are definitely the way to go. At least in my experience there. So I mean, anyway, that was some of the redstone contraption circuit type things that make your life a whole lot easier. So I hope you guys did enjoy this episode. I hope you did learn something, and feel free to let me know what you guys think. Anyway, thank you guys for watching, and have a nice day.